Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Olivia Rose, and I am so pleased to be with you here today for my presentation, Work Mom Balance. I'm going to share my screen so we can get started. So, Work Mom Balance, managing a full-time career with young children. Presented by me, Dr. Olivia Rose, naturopathic doctor. So first, a little about me. I am clinic owner and medical director of Rose Health Clinic in Scarborough, Ontario. I've been in practice for 15 years with a clinical focus on hormonal health, stress management, weight management, skin health and rejuvenation, digestive, immune, heart health, and hypertension. I have a skincare line, We Live Organics, cruelty-free, botanical, organic skincare line established in 2019. And of course, I am the mom to a rambunctious 5-year-old boy. I am happy to be presenting today on behalf of Harmony Women's Course to Confidence. And today we're going to talk about a few objectives here. The first one is, number one, what is work-life balance and how it has been disrupted for women more than ever before? And I can attest to that. The physical and psychological manifestations of being out of balance, the progression to achieving better balance while living in the new normal, how to prioritize self-care and restoration, and number five, actionable steps that you can take towards supporting your health and well-being. So what is work-mom balance? It's otherwise known as work-life balance. My take is that work-life balance is minimizing work-related stressors while maintaining good general health and well-being so that you are equally fulfilled by both your personal and professional life. So just some thoughts that I will share with you. Work-life balance. Mothers are more likely to be responsible for housework and caregiving than fathers. 2020 saw a shift in work-life balance with work from home orders in place, of course, due to the pandemic. And with moms working from home, it became even more difficult to have work-life balance and boundaries in place. And now looking forward with work from home and hybrid models of work in effect for some businesses still, the lines between work and home life are still blurred and in some cases just not getting any better. So what are the inequalities in domestic labor? So researchers from Boston Consulting Group, which surveyed more than 3,000 people in the US and Europe in 2020, found that working women currently spend an average of 15 hours a week more on unpaid domestic labor than men. So let's go back to you. How do you know when your life is out of balance? You know, sometimes we're just running like, hamsters on a Ferris wheel, and it's like, go, 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 go. And it's like, sometimes we have to stop and take a moment and consider some things before it's too late and you start to feel your body and your mind breaking down. So that's where we are right now. Some things that you want to consider to know if you are out of balance is things like you're not getting enough sleep. You haven't explored your hobbies in some time. What hobbies? Sometimes I feel like that. You're constantly eating fast food or skipping meals. You haven't connected with friends and family for a while, and you're taking home work on a regular basis more and more. So whether it be physically or mentally taking work home, you find yourself taking work home more times than not. So how to achieve balance while living in the new normal, we call it, right? The first piece of advice I have for patients is to let go of mom guilt by understanding your why. This is not an overnight thing. This takes time, but you really want to focus on what your career brings and provides for your family, and just have that on replay every day, every moment to help you get through. Focus on the positives and feel confident in your choice. That is really key, I find. You also want to know when it's time to switch off and be in the moment. Don't stress about the small stuff and be consistent with bedtimes and routines. This is really important. You want to be consistent with bedtime routines, not only for your kids, but also for you. Getting adequate sleep and really good sleep quality has really important effects on this restorative act of self-care. It's a really important act of self-care to do, something that you can do every day. It's important for hormonal balance, mental health, mood, overall feeling like you can handle what you have to deal with the next day. So if you're not getting good sleep, that's one of the first things I say to look into, seek the help of a healthcare provider if you need to, in order to address any sleep issues. So how to achieve better balance while living in the new normal? Back here again. Some thoughts: finding your village and to delegate when possible. Reliable childcare is really important, whether it's a grandmother or the local neighborhood teen. Just find someone that you can trust, so that if you need to run errands, you can rely on someone. If you have to attend a medical appointment, you can rely on someone. Really important to establish that as soon as you can when you start, when you have your family, and as things shift and switch, to continue to have some people that you know that you can count on. Share household responsibility. Have kids help with meal and lunch prep and with chores around the house. This is also really important. As moms, sometimes we forget and we just want to do everything, but you have to sort of take a step back sometimes and kind of see and assess where your kids are at and give them some chores. There are tons of age-appropriate chores that kids can do. My son is 5. He's been baking with me since he could stand. So he knows all the ingredients to the banana muffins that we make every single week for him to take to school for his lunch and his snack. So, something very simple, get them involved very early, so that, that chore becomes their own and they feel they have a sense of accomplishment as well. It helps you and it's a part of their development as well. So keep that in mind. Other age-appropriate things, feeding the dog, taking out the garbage. These are all things that my kid can do. And, it's important to give them that sense of pride in helping out and supporting the family as well. So there's that. You also want to ask for help and keep lines of communication open with your partner, kids, workplace, and clients. If you're feeling overwhelmed, reach out. Ask for help. Choose restorative self-care activities, from meditation, therapy. Choosing the right supplements for support are also really important, because sometimes you get stuck in a situation where you just have deadlines or you have things that you have on your plate and there's no getting out of it. And that's when good supplemental support can come in as well. We talk a little bit about that later. So the next thing you want to do is create a self-care plan. So the World Health Organization defines self-care as the ability of individuals, families, and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and to cope with illness and disability with or without the support of a healthcare provider. So when I hear and when I read this definition, what comes to mind is that you are your own doctor. You are the first doctor that you'll ever know. You know your body best. And yes, you might not have gone to medical school or naturopathic school, but health is about finding the tools that work for you to cope and also to feel well. It's not just the prevention of disease processes. It's about the treating of disease processes. It's about prevention and support along the way as you grow as a human being. So you want to be able to have tools in your corner, whether it's taking that bath or reading that book before bed or seeking counseling or other types of allied health professional support, so that you don't have to always go to the doctor when you're feeling sick. So the next step is that you want to prioritize self-care and restoration every day. And it doesn't take a whole lot to do this. You can start with 2 to 5 minutes each day of an activity that's just for you. Determine what your priorities are first. And it could be as simple as going to the gym a few times per week or engaging in a home workout. But once again, it does not have to start out as a 30-minute or a 1 hour type of ordeal. I call it an ordeal because sometimes trying to fit something in like that where you're just in the thick of it is difficult. So start with 2 minutes and build upon that. You want to allocate the time to spend with your friends if you haven't, especially during this time, haven't seen people for a while. Start reconnecting. Reconnect with your partner, take your supplements, and prepare a healthy meal. So what I want to talk about next are my top 5 restorative practices to consider. The first one I recommend is to take an adaptogen or immune support supplements, because oftentimes when your stress levels are high, your cortisol, your stress hormone is raging in your body. Taking a supplement can often help combat the signs of stress that can manifest in your body. Adaptogens are basically a type of herb or a supplement, a vitamin or a mineral that can reduce your body's ability to sense stress, or you don't tend to deal with the stress as you normally would with, getting anxious and immune system breaking down and getting sick as easily. So an adaptogen helps your body adapt to stressors, basically helps you to cope better. So the next one is to socialize with family and friends, go to the gym, get out there again. It's really important, like I was mentioning in the previous slide, to reconnect with people. It's been far too long, and that's one thing that I'm really excited about, a little bit apprehensive about because it's been so long, but trying to make those steps to make those connections again. And rest. Rest is another one that I think is one of my top 5s and probably my favorite. Rest, nap, go to bed early whenever you can. Definitely my favorite whenever I can. Screen breaks. Screen breaks are essential. We have been thrown into screens like never before, so you want to choose activities that don't involve a screen whenever you can. And lastly, counseling, psychotherapy, untapped extended health benefits that you may have through your work. Use that massage credit up. Go and see your therapist or social worker to strategize on some things. Really, really important. And like I said, sometimes those benefits are just untapped. And remember, you want to start slowly, just 2 minutes each day. You want to set reminders for yourself, communicate your needs to your partner, to your family, work with a professional if necessary. And that concludes my presentation on WorkMom balance, but there are some reflective or reflection questions that would be great for you to take a look at and answer for yourself. The first one is just to get an assessment of, what your typical workday looks like. You also want to know how often does work conflict with other aspects of your life? Think about that. And what work at home can you delegate to your children or your partner? So I talked about some age-appropriate chores for your kids. So think about that. Is there anything unnecessarily taking up your time? Try to get rid of the excess stuff that you don't need around. What actions could you take right now that would create the most impact on your well-being? Just choose 1 or 2 things that you think can just help get you started in the right direction to finding more work-mom balance. Thank you so much for joining me.